This year is literally your time to dominate as an engineering student, because you've seen the other engineering students around you doing the bare minimum by cheating, plagiarizing, and slacking off during lectures. Bro, your competition is literally a sack of potatoes. So if you follow the steps that the greatest engineers of all time took, you will undoubtedly outperform them exponentially. My name's Aaron. I'm a third-year mechanical engineering student at a top university in my country. I built practical and complex projects on my own, developed mechanical designs for personal clients, and landed internships way faster than anyone around me. So just listen to my advice closely and you will dominate this year in engineering. It was my third year of studying engineering where I really learned how to become an independent engineering student, because it was the time where I first started making projects on my own and I started learning the practical knowledge and the practical skills required for my desired position as a mechanical design engineer. I started off by making mechanisms, then models of machinery, and then I got to the point where I was using the theoretical knowledge that they were teaching me in my classes, like fluid mechanics principles, gear principles, stress principles. The reason that I was by definition one of the most independent engineering students in my cohort of students was because I was giving myself instructions on what I should do. I wasn't taking orders from a professor telling me to do an assignment. I wasn't taking orders from some design club leader. Something that's important to mention is that I was also talking about these projects on a YouTube channel, a separate YouTube channel from this channel that you're watching this video on right now. And because I was literally putting myself out there on the internet, I was getting people emailing me to do CAD work and design work for them. And I did. I accepted the offer to collaborate with them. And because of those experiences, I learned how to work with my own personal clients. And I didn't only learn that soft skill that was required for engineering, but I also developed the hard skills like prototyping, the hard skills like mechanical design. All of the things that I was learning in this experience was conducive to my goals of becoming a mechanical design engineer. And the best part of this whole situation was that I depended on myself only. I was independent. I didn't depend on someone giving experience to me. I got my own experience myself. I didn't have that limiting belief that maybe you have of thinking like, oh, you need experience to get more experience. What such bullshit this engineering industry is. You don't need someone else to give you experience. You can do it yourself. That's something that you've failed to realize until this point, which I'm telling you right now. Independence is about initiative. It's about defining the next steps that you must take on your own. It's about reaching out for answers rather than expecting them to come to you. And at this point, if you think that independence is not critical, then think again. Because in the internship that I'm working at right now, nobody ever comes up to me and asks me how I'm doing on a project. It's up to me to ask other engineers, not them to come to me, the intern at the company. And it sure as hell isn't up to the supervisor who is so busy with meetings and so busy with building macros and all of these other projects. It's not up to that supervisor to come babysit me. So I genuinely mean it. Independence is a highly valuable skill that you can have in the engineering industry. It may seem simple, but it's 100% crucial. Now you might be asking me, how do I start developing my skill of independence as only a student? Let's talk about that in my next chapter. Developing this crucial skill of independence all starts with making projects like I did in my previous example. And in my program where I teach you how to develop engineering skills as an early year engineering student, I talk about 3 engineering projects that you could turn to. There's 1, design club projects, 2, the group projects that are from your classes, and 3, personal projects. Now these personal projects is the only one among the 3 that shows your character traits of initiative, your traits of independence. Personal projects are literally a gold mine for engineering students in the modern day. Look around you. The majority of engineering students don't even get off of their desk to stop studying from their classes and stop taking orders from their professor. They're too dependent on others to start making projects. So the way you start making projects is first defining your dream career, your purpose as an engineer. The first half of your purpose is the industry that you want to work in, sort of the impact that you want to have in this world. Do you want to be someone that contributes to the reversal of climate change and global warming? Look into environmental engineering or sustainable engineering industries. If you want to be someone that builds record-breaking vehicles, then look into the motorsports industry. There are so many industries out there that you could choose from, okay? So I have no doubt that one of them will call out to you inside of your heart. And the second half of your purpose, other from your industry that you want to work in, is the role that you want to work. And just like engineering industries, there are many engineering roles that you could work for, like project management, something that requires the skills of a leader, the role of a mechanical design engineer, the role that requires skills of CAD modeling, the role of a control systems engineer, which requires you to use controls concepts, and the role of a hardware engineer, which requires you to know electrical concepts. Whatever you do well in school at, or whatever subjects that you actually enjoy, take those facts into consideration when you're defining your dream role. What do you enjoy about engineering? And then see which roles tie into that. Once you've defined the two halves of this purpose, now you can start making projects which aligns with that purpose. Make projects that would be similar to the projects made in your desired industry, and use the skills to make these projects similar to the skills required to be your desired role as an engineer. Once again, if you need further advice on how to build projects, especially as an early year engineering student, then click the top link in the description. I will teach you how. One of the required first year engineering courses that I had to take was a class called Engineering Communications. And this class was basically English class where you learn to speak with clients of an organization, and you learned how to be formal in the infrastructure of an engineering company. And there was this one course group project, which was a major portion to this entire course. And it was a project where we had to communicate back and forth with a client of an organization and engineer an idea for fundraising for the said client. The teacher formed groups at random, and once we got into our groups, I immediately took the leadership position. And in this leadership position, I organized meetings. I made sure that everyone was on the same page during said meetings. I made sure that everyone was communicating with one another, and I made sure that everyone was contributing to these meetings and to the group projects. All of these acts were beyond the bare minimum that was required of me for this group project. However, it's because I went above and beyond to do these types of actions that I developed the traits of a true leader. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned about this assignment was that this was actually a competition between the entire class. And my group actually ended up winning this competition because I stepped up as that leader. I made sure that everyone was on the same page. I made sure that our group didn't fall apart. Leadership is one of the most important, if not the most important trait of a top 1% engineer. And you know, it may be hard for you in your situation that you're in right now, but I need you to take an effort. That is, if you really want to develop yourself as an engineering student this year. It can even be small things like organizing meetings, arranging a group chat between the members, or calling out one of the group members in your group that is not as talkative to see his opinion on this matter that you're talking about. Whatever efforts you take to develop the traits of a leader is better than doing the bare minimum. Trust me. Okay, so in conclusion, this is the way that you're going to dominate engineering school this year. First, you need to become independent. And independent does not mean studying alone and doing your assignments on your own. Because even when you do that, you're still taking instructions from someone else. You're still a subordinate to someone else. Instead, you need to boss yourself around. You need to tell yourself what to do by making projects. Projects is the second thing that is going to be most important for you this year. Now, by all means, they don't even have to be large, because look at the projects that I made. They weren't terribly large of scale. So I just know that you can make projects on your own. They can even be simple CAD models. And the third thing that I want you to take into consideration is leadership. Leadership is an absolutely crucial role because it shows your communication skills and it shows your influential skills. Two things which are very important in the engineering industry. I am working as an intern right now, okay? Trust me when I say that. Now I just know that you're going to take these steps because you've made it this far into the fucking video. You know, all of your peers around you, they're not making this type of effort to make or to watch more engineering content on their own free time. They're too busy scrolling reels and scrolling TikTok, watching random memes to develop their careers like you are right now. I really appreciate you for watching this video. And if you are a purposeful engineer like I think you are, I think you should join the community, which is part of my program. Okay? I can't wait to see you inside. I'll see you next time.